Hello and welcome to the after show Afterthoughts. This is the continuation of our conversation about Lloyd Richards with Julius Hollingsworth. Say hello, Julius.
Hello.
And Jack Shalom.
Hi, happy to be here, Lynnie.
Yes, thank you. And I'm Lynnie Godfrey, as you all know by now and are tired probably of looking at me all the time. But here we are having this conversation. And one of the things that I wanted to do to make sure that you will understand, these are the two men who are responsible for in the spring or almost summertime coming up, there is going to be a street named for the wonderful director, producer, teacher, all of those wonderful credits, Lloyd Richards. And these two men, along with a great deal of others that Julius and both Jack was so very, very instrumental and polite in naming them so that we know that it takes a village to do something like this. So we thank all of them, for that. And hopefully we will see all of them in this ceremony that's going to take place, naming this street 42nd Street, am I 47th
47.
Street, 47 between 8th and Broadway. So tell us a little bit, if you could, about your journey right now. Capsulize what we talked about a little bit on the radio. If you could tell us a little bit about how you two met first, and what under what circumstances. So this will acquaint the audience, and then they'll go and listen to the longer story on the radio. Okay.
Okay, I'll try and do a short version. 45 years ago, I was a student of Lloyd Richards at Hunter College. We had the opportunity to be in a play that he directed, The Sign in Sidney Brustein's Window by the great Lorraine Hansberry. It's been since revived, but we were there at the first revival at Hunter 45 years ago, and Julius and I were in it together. 3 years ago, I called up Julius and said, having not spoken to him for 45 years, said, this is Jack. We haven't spoken in 45 years, but let's talk about Lloyd. And Julius, why don't you take it from there?
Yeah, and then we saw in the paper that they were talking about, because this was around the time of George Floyd, and Broadway was talking about what they could do to include Black
artists.
artists to be represented in the Broadway theater community in a way that was more celebrated. So they were looking to name some theaters for Black people, and I said, "Oh well, we should. A theater needs to be named for Lloyd Richards," and he's the first director of a drama. I like to say that drama on Broadway. Clarence Muse was the first director of a folk opera on Broadway for Run Shall Run, I think it was. But yeah, he seemingly had the ability to do almost everything exceedingly well. He was going to be a lawyer and changed and said, "No, I want to be an actor." And he was on Broadway, and his understudy was James Earl Jones, and James Earl Jones always said that Lloyd was the rabbit everyone was trying to catch.
So Julius, I'm just going to come back in there because you left her hanging a little bit with the story about the theaters. So we wrote to the producers of the theaters, the theater owners, and they never they never really responded in the way we wanted. They went with more public figures like Lena Horne and
Recognizable names, yes.
yes,
Mhm,
that the general public knew. And
mhm.
then we said, okay, well, we're gonna at least get a day named after Lloyd or a street named after Lloyd. And why don't you pick it up from there, Julius?
A day, a street, and then um, uh, we one a gentleman by Jeffrey Buck Wright knew Stephen McKinley. Someone from the acting group that I have been a part of knew Stephen McKinley Henderson, and we were able to get in contact with him. And we Ruben Santiago Hudson and a number of other people, and my mentor from back in the day when I was working for the Harlem for Obama campaign as a director of arts and culture, Chet Y came on board, and he would do he didn't start the page, but Claudia Hayden started the page, but he came on and he said, no, this needs to be 6.29. Celebrating Lloyd Richards 6.29 because 6.29 was the day he was born and the day he passed, and it became catchy because then people remembered that. And he understood that part, and he did all the digital stuff from then on, and we sent letters and petitions and getting people to sign on, and running around trying to catch up with people around the city to be involved. And then Denny Farrell and finally Julia Pearlstein told me how to get in contact with Scott Richards, his son. So it's been a real journey, and also all of the some of those people I'm looking forward to having with us on the call on this at the end of the month.
Yes, I think what Julius is referring to is that we are celebrating Lloyd again on February 28th. Even though this is a leap year and there are 29 days, we are going to take that 28th day and celebrate Lloyd and have some of those wonderful people who have participated in his life or maybe even related to him come on our program and take the time to really still celebrate him, and then hopefully crystallize the whole point of when that date on June 29th happens, that there is a street on 47th Street between 8th and Broadway that is named forever for Lloyd Richards. We will not let them change it. They will not change it. And so glad are we to have you here, you two gentlemen who have been relentless, really, Jack Shalom and Julius Hollingsworth. Julius has started talking about this a year and a half, 2 years ago, during the pandemic. He started thinking, and he said to me, well, Lynnie, what do you do? And I went, well, Julius, let me know how you're doing with it. Well, Julius, let me know how you're doing with it. I said, keep me abreast. Let me know how it's going. Lynnie, you're going to do it. I said, well, no, Julius, I've got to do this work over here. I've got to do this work. Let me know. Keep on doing. And he did. And I'm very proud that he did.
Lynnie, I just want to mention that there's a Facebook page that Julius and Chet set up and other people helped set up, with almost 700 members now. So, and you can find out the latest that's going on there.
Excellent.
It's called
It's
called Celebrating Lloyd Richards. So you go to facebook.com.
And we
Celebrating
invite you to go, and please, and can they join when they go there? Can they join the page?
Absolutely.
Please, we would love wouldn't it be wonderful if by the time we do this, we have 1,000 members? Wouldn't that be fair? Let us this, pinpoint, that be our aim, to have 1,000 names there, and 1,000 members there. So go to Celebrating Lloyd Richards.
6.29. Because that's
6.29.
yes.
6.29. And thank you, Chet. And Chet has been on this program. So yes, I do know Chet quite well.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Yes, yes, yes. He has lovely, lovely, lovely spirit and lovely man. And hopefully he'll come again. So with that, I don't want to hold these gentlemen long. They've been wonderful and sharing their stories, and you all should listen to their journey on Lynnie Godfrey Straight No Chaser. It will be up soon. And you'll be able to hear it on Facebook or go to blogtalkradio.com/SFTH2. So, with all of that, I'd like to thank you, Julius, and I'd like to thank you, Jen, for coming on and being a part of this and being relentless and giving me the opportunity to talk about one of my favorite people in the world, and how you talk about people that really shaped your career. Marjorie Moon, who was the executive director and creative director of Billie Holiday Theater, first saw me in Hampton University, and when I left there, bumped right into Lloyd. So boy, were the stars aligned for me. It's just those two people really crafted the beginnings of who I am now today. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone who has been listening and who will be looking at this. Make sure that you go to celebrating Lloyd Richards 6.29. And our goal is 1,000 members. So go on there and sign on up. All right. So we'll talk to you soon. Gentlemen, you stay on with me, please, if you can. But I'm going to say thank you very much, audience, for joining us at the After Show Afterthoughts here. And we'll see you on the 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place. And we'll see you on the radio celebrating Lloyd Richards 6.29. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.